The Chronicles of Narnia. Were the books or movies better? Let's dive in and decide. Let's start with the differences between the characters from the page to the screen. We'll first talk about the Pevensey children. First up, we have the youngest Pevensey, Lucy, played by Georgie Henley. In the books, she is described as having a merry face with golden hair, and all the princes in the region want her to be their queen. In the movie, Lucy is a bit more timid than her book counterpart, and she has brown hair and freckles. We also don't really see any of the princes desiring her, but that's probably because she is a young girl throughout the movie series. Next up is Susan Pevensey, played by Anna Popplewell. In the books, she is described as having long black hair and freckles. Adults always considered her to be the beauty of the family. By the time she grew up, she was tall and gracious, with her hair falling almost to her feet. In the movies, she is portrayed with brown hair, but her beauty matches that of Book Susan. Next up is Edmund Pevensey, played by Skandar Keynes. In the book, C.S. Lewis never specifically described his looks. He is known for having the most complex personality out of all of the protagonists. He constantly seeks out attention and glory from those around him, and those exact personality traits follow through to the movies. In the movie, Edmund has dark hair, which matches some of the illustrated book copies. Lastly, we have William Moseley as the eldest Pevensey, Peter. In the book, like his brother, he has no specific descriptions about his looks, although the illustrated novels depict him with dark hair. In the movie, he is blonde. His personality matches that between the books and the movies, where he really takes on this big brother role and the responsibilities very seriously, especially when it comes to defending his family in Narnia. And we also need to talk about fan favorite Prince Caspian, played by Ben Barnes. In the books, he is described as noble, handsome, brave, and merry. He always strives for fairness and justice and is a devoted king. He is also portrayed as a young boy in the book. In the movie, Barnes brings him to life with those same characteristics, but he looks quite older. We also have to talk about the White Witch, played by the incredible Tilda Swinton. In the book, she is described as not just pale, but white like snow or paper or icing sugar. She wears a golden crown and has a red mouth. In the movie, she has fair skin and dark blonde hair and a crown made of ice. Now, let's talk about the biggest story changes between the books and the movies, one by one. First, we'll look at the major changes for the adaptation of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. One of the major changes is that in the movie, we actually see the bombings of London, where the Pevenseys hide from death in their shelter. In the book, the bombings were only mentioned rather than really talked about in detail. Another change is that in the movie, Lucy first enters the wardrobe while exploring their new house, whereas in the book, she enters the wardrobe while playing hide and seek with her siblings. This also changes the second time that Lucy enters the wardrobe, which was also Edmund's first time. In the book, they both enter while playing hide and seek again, but in the movie, it happens in the middle of the night. In the movie, the frozen river sequence where the Pevenseys and the beavers cross a frozen river is quite memorable, but that was not in the book. Instead, it showcases the power of the CGI at the time and the production design with being able to bring to life this world. And speaking of Frozen, in the movie where the White Witch turns the fox into stone after Edmund tells her about Aslan is different than in the book where she turns a party of Narnians into stone after the fox tells her about Father Christmas. And also, several characters were created for the adaptation, like Ottman, the White Witch's general, and Aureus, the Narnians' general, who were not present in the book at all. Next, we'll look at the changes for the second adaptation, Prince Caspian. The first major difference is that Caspian is a young teenage boy around the age of 13 years old in the books, whereas in the movie, he's in his late teens and closer in age to Peter. The film also opens with Caspian's flight, whereas in the book, Trumpkin tells the Pevenseys about Caspian and his story after they had been in Caerbrevall for 2 days. Other details about characters are different, like King Miraz. In the movie, he is crowned king after the night raid, whereas in the movie, he had already been king for years since he was crowned after secretly murdering his brother. Also, in the book, Susan never fought in the Second Battle of Baruna. Instead, she and Lucy stayed with Aslan and helped him to restore Narnia to its former glory. Only Peter, Edmund, and Caspian fought in the battle. But in the movie, all of the Pevensies fight alongside Caspian and Aslan. Lastly, let's look at the adaptation of the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which was the last to be adapted during the Disney era. The geography of the islands is very different between the book and the movie, so the order where they visit them is different. In the book, Dark Island came before Ramadu's Island, and Dragon Island and Golden Water Island were two separate islands. Neither were volcanic, and both were visited before Korrikan's Island. Another major change is that in the book, Reepicheep challenges Eustace to a duel before arriving to the Lone Island. But in the movie, this challenge is replaced with a duel between Caspian and Edmund and Reepicheep and Eustace, and they later have a duel after visiting Narrow Haven. It's a lot. Now, let's talk about the movies got right and what they got wrong. One of the major strengths of the movies is that they nailed the visual spectacle and the world-building elements that were well crafted in Lewis's books. The movies successfully brought the magical world of Narnia to life with stunning landscapes and fantastical creatures like centaurs and talking animals and impressive special effects. The visual aspects captivate the audience's imagination with vibrant and imaginative worlds created by Lewis. Another major strength is the movie's ability to capture the spirit of the books. The adaptations do a great job in conveying the emotional and metaphorical depth of Narnia and the stories that Lewis presented. The themes of good versus evil, faith, redemption, and sacrifice were all explored with sensitivity and nuance. Even though some of the changes were made and the movies still managed to represent Aslan as good and the White Witch as evil, which made the films appealing to both fans of the books and those unfamiliar with the religious or Christian allegories within. The movies also touched more on the themes of childhood and family and the transition to adulthood, which helped a lot of newcomers relate to the material. However, as much as the movies have their strengths, they do also have a few weaknesses too. One major weakness of the adaptations is the underdeveloped characters, both human and fantastical alike. Many of the characters' motivations and personalities are not always clear, and their actions can feel inconsistent or even random at times. This makes it difficult for audiences to connect with the broader world and its inhabitants. Sure, the themes of good versus evil are obvious, and the characters follow many of those ideals, but many of their motivations don't go beyond that theme. Susan is a great example, as she is initially portrayed with a caring nature, and her character is largely defined by her femininity. Her siblings all have some sort of growth and development. And this brings me to another weakness, the pacing and plot overcrowding. In adapting the dense mythology of the books, the movies often simplify some of the key plot points and cut out some of the wonderful world-building moments that could have helped develop the characters too. Like in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, when Aslan and the girls play tag, that scene was completely cut from the movie. Or in Prince Caspian, when the prince and the old Narnians meet the Pevensies for the first time, and we get to see their wonder. That was completely cut out in favor of faster plot development. Cutting moments like these help the audience to feel more connected to the characters and to understand them even better, even if they seem like additional details. Instead, the movie focused more on making the battle scenes longer and overusing CGI to an extent that it sometimes feels alienating for fans of the books, but entertaining for moviegoers. So which one wins, the books or the movies? For me, the movies win. They really brought to life the world of C.S. Lewis and wonderfully created and managed to capture that beauty and the magic of Narnia visually. Plus, it remained true to the general themes, even if they diverged slightly for the Hollywood purposes. But what did you think? Did the adaptations do the books justice, or will you always prefer the originals? Let me know down in the comments. I'm dying to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And I'll see you next time right here on Collider.